The point felt more like a paradox than a prize. A result that on the surface extends an unbeaten run, but underneath the veneer exposes every single thread that's beginning to fray at the edges. This wasn't a match of free-flowing football or tactical masterclasses. It was a proper, gritty and brutally intense London derby. A contest decided not by moments of genius, but by sheer force of will. A war of attrition, where every duel was a battle and every restart was a siege. You could feel the tension from the first whistle. A game played on a nice edge, where fluidity was sacrificed for fight. Where the narrative was written not in passes, but in fouls, yellow cards and constant interruptions. It was a match devoid of any real rhythm. A stark contrast to the controlled dominance we've come to expect. And that in itself is the most telling detail of all. The pivotal moment. The red card that should have been the catalyst for a calm, controlled procession to 3 points. Instead became the trigger for a bizarre shift in momentum. The intention was clear. Settle the game, dominate possession, and patiently unpick a depleted opposition. But what followed was the opposite. The team seemed to inherit the chaos they were meant to suppress. Instead of controlling the tempo, they became entangled in it, accumulating more yellow cards themselves and becoming targets for a Chelsea side intent on levelling the emotional, if not the numerical, scale. The halftime team talk was surely a reset, a plea for composure and a return to the fundamental plan. Yet the second half began with the same frantic energy. A long ball, a conceded free kick, a corner, and suddenly the momentum had irrevocably shifted. Emotionally, the team was on the back foot, reacting to events rather than dictating them. The response to that conceded goal, however, speaks volumes about the spirit embedded within this squad. To find a moment of quality amidst the chaos, to score a great goal when the tide was flowing firmly against them, is the mark of a team with immense character. But character alone doesn't win titles. Precision does. And in the aftermath of the equaliser, that crucial precision was missing. There was a lack of a certain detail in the final third. A missing ingredient in the manner of attack to truly generate sustained pressure and kill the game. Every time the goalkeeper, Robert, had the ball in his hands, there was a palpable anxiety, a vulnerability to the counter-attack that a top-tier side simply cannot afford. They had 2 or 3 big chances, but in a game of such fine margins, it's the one you don't create that haunts you. This singular match cannot be viewed in isolation. It is the crescendo of an immensely challenging week. It started with the emotional drain of a North London derby, followed immediately by a colossal Champions League battle against Bayern Munich, and culminated in this physical war at Stamford Bridge. The schedule is a relentless drag on minds and bodies, a fact compounded by the brutal reality of attrition. They have lost key players in each of these battles. The captain is absent, the primary striker is out, key attackers are missing, and now, in the heart of the defence, the unthinkable has happened. For the first time in over 3 years, the foundational centre-back partnership of Gabriel and Saliba was broken. The stat is so staggering it bears repeating. 3 years, 3 months and 25 days. That is the bedrock upon which this team's stability has been built, and its absence creates a seismic shift. This forced a completely untested defensive pairing into the furnace of a London derby. Players like Mosquera and Kalouri, who are often auxiliary pieces, were suddenly the central pillars. This is where the concept of squad depth is truly tested. It's one thing to have a deep squad on paper, with talented players filling every slot on a spreadsheet. It's an entirely different proposition to have that depth manifest in a cohesive, connected performance under extreme pressure. The beauty revealed in this adversity was the sheer willingness of those players to step in, to connect, to build a new partnership on the fly. It was a great learning match, not just for them, but for the entire collective, providing assurance that the system can withstand the loss of even its most vital components. And that is the central question emerging from this gritty, unsatisfying draw. What does it say about a team that can come to a place like Stamford Bridge, play significantly below their collective best, navigate a storm of injuries and setbacks, and still walk away with the overwhelming feeling that they should have won? That feeling, that disappointment, is not a sign of failure, but a testament to the astronomically high standards that have been set. It's a standard born from an incredible spirit, and a relentless hunger, a belief that they can and will overcome every obstacle. This mindset is what allows them to view a challenging week not as a crisis, but as a positive. A week where they overcame immense difficulty, even if the final flavour was one of slight disappointment. The depth has been questioned, but the evidence suggests it is real. It has been tested since pre-season, with 6 or 7 players constantly in and out of the treatment room. The performance intensity at Stamford Bridge, despite the crippling loss of numbers, did not drop. The quality is undeniable, but it is the mentality, the shared, unyielding belief across every individual in the squad. That is the true differentiator. The immediate future remains clouded with uncertainty regarding the returns of Saliba and Gabriel, a headache that forces constant recalculation. But the lesson from the bridge is clear. This team's ambition is no longer a hope, it is a demand. They have graduated from hoping to win to being disappointed when they don't. And that evolution, forged in the fire of weeks like this, is the most powerful statement they can make.